Hi, everybody. Hello, hello. I am coming to you from my office in Florida. And so I am back on the East Coast. My mother is in California in her office in Palm Desert, Rancho Mirage. And we are so excited. We are coming to you today because we are so grateful and we are so appreciative of everyone and all of your support. And we really just wanted to come on and acknowledge that. This live is really about gratitude, it's about reflection, and it's about celebrating our book and what we have already created. So, I want to start by thanking you, Mom, because without you, this book would have never even come into existence. For those of you that don't know the story, my mom asked me to participate in writing a book together after she completed and published her first book in November of 2024. So, I was so excited about her asking me, and we're going to share a little bit about the story behind the scenes here in a minute. But before we go into all of that, I really want to thank all of our readers who have ordered their book already. The book has actually been out a little over a month. We launched on 11/11, which was such a beautiful day to launch this book. It also was exactly a year after my mom launched her first book, which is called The Healing Whisk, by the way. If you do not have a copy, make sure that you go check it out on Amazon. So, for those of you that are into numbers and numerology, energy work, spirituality, 11/11 is a beautiful portal. It was a wonderful, magnificent day to launch the book energetically for both of us, and we really loved it. So it's been out for a little over a month, and we really want to thank all of you that jumped in super early. Like, we had people waiting. I had people on the East Coast on 11/11, like the minute that they woke up at like 4:35 in the morning, they're like ordering the book. And so I just want to thank everyone, for doing that. And I want to thank also our launch team members. My mom is going to talk a little bit about how you can become a launch team member here in a bit. Um, and we'll share the screen, but we want to thank all of you that have done that. And then, of course, the people that came and celebrated with us last week. It was a week ago today that we all gathered in Laguna Niguel. We did an amazing book launch party. Our dear friends Anne and Alan Levy opened up their beautiful home in Laguna Niguel, and we had 35 people that came from all over Southern California. San Diego, Glendale, Rancho Mirage, Orange County, San Gabriel Valley, the South Bay, and my husband who flew all the way from Florida, literally for 36 hours. But we had people, sitting in traffic for like 4 hours. So thank you for all of you that were able to attend in person. And of course, there's been so many messages. It's been countless, like messages, photos, people posting and sharing about the book, and their thoughts on the book on social media, people that have posted reviews on Amazon. We are just so, so grateful. And all of that helped us. Did I jump into
Yeah, you kind of took the wind away, but that's
did I
okay.
jump into to some of your stuff? Did
Yeah,
I
I
give you
I
my
like
stuff?
listening to you though. I'm like, okay, she can just take over.
Oh my God. I think, well, no, I got it. All of that helped us. And then are we transitioning over to you? Did I lose my spot?
You want me
I
just
have
to
used
kind of
my spot.
interject a little bit?
Oh my gosh. I think I lost my spot. I did. I jumped into yours. Mom, take it over. Take it over. We are,
This is how we work, you guys. Okay, I just let
we're
her go
so
away and then I go,
organized.
let mom talk.
We're so organized that like it's we've got
Yeah,
our
we're too
transition right
organized.
into my mom's portion. I am so sorry. Do you want to pick up? Do you want to pick up?
Okay, so this is so funny. This is an exact reflection of how we operated in the business. We both would come to the table, literally to the table, which was the kitchen table or the office table or the cafe table, and like, here's our ideas. And we would both be so excited. We'd put it into paper because we were so excited about the new menu, the new this, the new that. And before you knew it, one was taking over the other space. And sometimes it was great because it worked, and other times we would laugh, and other times we'd get angry. And that's the beauty of what this book is about. The Sacred Stir, by the way, is the name. And so I'm just going to give you a little back history and then a little bit on the thank you part on my behalf. And then Marissa will take over. So um, the Healing Whisk, which I should put a copy up at some point, or I can step away and grab it while Marissa's
I'll
talking.
go grab it for you.
Okay, so the Healing Whisk came about because, as I mentioned, um, we worked for several years together in a restaurant setting. And this was after years of me teaching. And during that process, we both discovered that the place was no longer fun and safe. And the reason that was unfortunate because we were living in a cycle of dysfunction, living with somebody and working with somebody dealing with addiction. And so I left. Through that process, I experienced divorce. I also experienced the death of my dad. So those components led me eventually to put all my feelings on paper, which I'd been journaling for years, and created the Healing Whisk. After that, it birthed on her birthday, as she mentioned. I then went to her and I thought, if I can somehow heal my feelings, I'm sure she had just as many or more dealing with the restaurant setting. Maybe we can write a book together. And so we created The Sacred Stir. And as a result of collaboration, I really came into a real important belief in my life, which leads to me and all of you listening today, which is the most powerful things that are created start within our soul, but they really birth when we come into union with one person or more. And so this book was not possible with not only our two ideas, but an editor and the support of all you guys. And I would love to take the time to name each and every person, but like Marisa, I'm going to put it into three simple groups and then also explain to you one very powerful group that is really helping us. So, the first group, of course, is the people that decided maybe there's something here for me to read. Maybe there's a story for me to really embrace. And so that first group is our readers. And those are the people, like Marisa mentioned, that were literally sitting on the edge of their seat waiting for it to pop up on Amazon. And so for you guys to be that connected to us virtually, in person, however you are, that energy just really means a lot to us. The second group was, of course, um, the launch team group, which is a little team, and team is group, team is community. And we basically decided there was such a big team that we would kind of separate the team out because everybody wanted to be part of this team. So we have what we call the VIP group. And the VIP group basically, I'm going to get that book. I'm going to write a review. I'm going to support them by putting it on my social media because they wanted to spread the word. Then we had the VI support that just simply said, and it's not simple because it took effort, you guys. They bought the book and they left a review. And then we also have the idea that that community that we talked about just now also is a community that believes in health and living a good life. And so from there, we went to the live in-person group that Marisa mentioned. people that came from all over to our book launch party, traveling from all different parts of the country and all parts of the West Coast. And if you live on the West Coast, you know that getting anywhere nowadays takes a lot of time on the freeways or in a plane. And so we thank each and every single one of you. Some people went as far as almost 4 hours, and of course, Marissa's husband. And lastly, I want to say, a special thank you to those that take the time to literally write their story of thanks on a piece of paper, because we took the time to share our story in a book, and the power that comes from pen to paper, people lose that nowadays. So taking the time to write a text, taking the time to put a review, taking the time to send a message, literally in the mail to us. All that takes time, and we thank you. And we want you all to know, before I turn it over to Marisa, that, like I said, everybody's story counts. And we're not here sharing today to sell our book. We're sharing our soul to tell you thank you. And if there's something that you read when you flip through the pages that gives you some sort of hope to love your kitchen, love yourself, love your feminine and masculine power that's in you, you're going to ace it in the world. Okay, your turn.
That was so beautiful. So beautiful. So beautiful. Thank you so much. My mom is, you're just the best. You're the best. And, before I transition into reflecting a little bit on the book launch, I want to just tie in a bow what you shared with everybody, that all of those efforts that people did to support the book, get it in their hands, it actually helped us reach number 8 in the top 10 culinary biographies and memoirs in new releases, which is huge on Amazon. We're really grateful to you guys for that. So thank you. To have that happen within the first, week of the book launching was really awesome. So um, let's talk a little bit about the launch party, Mom, because it's been a week and I know that I will be processing this for a very long time. It was so beautiful. It was just part of the whole experience. But the energetic exchange of bringing everyone collectively in that room was something that was so necessary. And I feel like the book really allowed the opportunity for us to reconnect heart to heart, literally like hugging people, looking in people's eyes that we haven't seen in such a long time. So there was so much intimacy and conversations. The space of Alan and Anne's home was magical. They have a lot of intentionality in the walls of their home. They had recently just remodeled it. They do a lot of healing work themselves in that space, and you could feel it. The food and the beverages were also, I posted in my stories last night a little reel. You guys got to check it out. Coming from our background, it was really important to have, a nice presence with food, because food is divine. Food is, we believe, of God. And so having that food and catering was really neat. Foods that represented the recipes in the book, and the things that my mom had shared about, and stories from the book. It was just, there were subtleties woven all throughout, the event, which was really neat. So, Mom, what surprised you most about the night?
Um, I think that if I can pick one word, I think it's the celebration, because usually when people come together for a celebration, it's like, oh, we're going to celebrate her birthday. It's an anniversary, or this person got a trophy, or this person made it up the ladder and is now president or CEO or VP. And I look back at a lot of my celebrations in life, and it was always like, okay, what did you accomplish, so to speak? And when I look back at the night, it wasn't necessarily the accomplishment, even though you and I know it took some effort to put this book together. What I felt was, these people have come here because they are all together getting something out of this, and that community as a group is celebrating that, whatever it was. And I could hear people, different conversations say, "Oh my God, did you read this?" Or what about this? Or did you know this about Marisa? Or did you know that about Maria? And they were all like having their own little nuggets of connection and celebration. And so that to me was like the trophy of the night.
Oh, God, I love that so much. Yeah, I felt that. I felt that. And I felt a presence. And what I mean by that is like everyone was, they weren't, sometimes people are checked out, right? Like they're just in their own world, fluttering in and whatever's going on in their life, they're bringing it. It was like everyone was present. They were available for the conversations. They were available for the connections. They were calm in their body, and there was so much love. There was just so much love. So, um, I wouldn't say that necessarily surprised me, uh, uh, but it was refreshing, right? I was just like, I mean, I knew the night was going to be magical, but like then to have that actually like show up it to that extent, it was really something that I guess was surprising. So yeah,
Yeah,
it was really
yeah.
neat. So what was your favorite moment of the night?
Ooh, I don't think I can really, there were so many little like, wow, this moment's really cool. But I really thought it was so special to me when we got to the point of the book signing, okay? How people were going, okay, and so this one's going to be for my mom. So can you just, I don't know, my mom's kind of like you and this, or, they wanted that connection. And
Yeah,
it wasn't just sign your name, give me a little bit more of you to take home. And
yeah.
that feeling came through. It was really, and let me take the picture with you. All of a sudden I felt like I'm not even a celebrity here and you want my picture, but it was just so cute.
Yeah, I love that. So it's so true. Same for me. It happened. My favorite part was at that book signing moment, which we did at the end, right? So it was such a beautiful flow how Anne had it laid out. People came in and they mixed and they mingled and enjoyed conversation with one another for about 45 minutes to an hour. And we were kind of delaying a little bit because my grandmother was stuck in traffic with my aunt coming all the way from Glendale. It was like 4 hours it took them, and we really wanted my grandma to like have the full experience, so we were waiting to start the official part until she got there. So like the minute she walked in, we're like, whoa, let's get into it. And then we did a little reading, and then we signed books at the end. And so for me, my favorite part was also at the end because I had, and forgive me, not forgive me, but I may get a little emotional over this. I had two women that came up to the table, didn't, no connection to one another, completely there from different invitations, different worlds brought them. And one of the women, her mother had passed away, and she hadn't been out of the house in 2 years. She was in so much grief, and her husband encouraged her to, come to the event. We're friends. We know them through the car world out in California, and she said, "I just knew I had to get the book because I was so close with my mom." And I realized in that moment the power of what this book is and how it's going to be different for so many men and women, but what that opens up in terms of healing, allowing connection to those that maybe have crossed over. But I was so taken aback in that moment. I was like, wow, we like the book is doing this.
Yeah.
And then there was another woman that I knew through a couple degrees of separation that was invited in, and through the isogenics world, like she's a customer of a customer of one of my customers. Down it goes, right, as these things ripple out. And she doesn't have like the greatest connection with her own biological mother, but she has this incredible connection with her daughters. And she said, this book is allowing me to turn that perspective with my own mom and reshape it into something beautiful with my daughters. And so, you start to see these things that are happening already a month in, and it's like, wow, and all of that happened at the signing table. So, that was definitely my favorite part. I can't wait. And I feel like we did another event on Saturday, the 2 days
Yeah.
after, and we were signing books again. And there's something in this, like when you're signing of the books where you get to really converse with that person and energetically like imprint it on the book, and it carries even further. So yeah.
And to take that one, just may I interject, what's really interesting is the way people look at it. Like somebody says, okay, I'm getting it because like we had one caterer that was there that said, you're in the restaurant business and I need to know more about your store. And so she bought it for that reason.
Yeah.
Another person, or I gifted it actually to her, but another person would share because of this nugget. Well, what's interesting is at the day later, like you mentioned, there was a girl that could not come to this particular event but came to our event that I had out in Rancho Mirage area, which was at a book library sale that we had for our local library. And she goes, but I'm buying them because I'm giving them as gifts to my family. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, I just love the different
Reasons.
um, reasons. Yeah.
Yeah. Me too. Me too. Me too. Me too. I had a gentleman, right? We know that he came to the party and he bought 3 books for his friends that are in restaurant industry. Another one, whose mom passed, right? So it's like male or female, just because it says it's a mother daughter story or memoir and rebirth. There is so much for guys too. When we talk about
Exactly. If you're a guy listening to this,
yeah,
either go into Doug Campbell's and he did a thing,
yep,
or go into the reviews and my honey wrote a
yes,
review. And
yes.
these are two men that are like, yeah,
We had a lot of guys in attendance at the event, at the launch event, and they were cracked open and they were sharing and they were excited to read. And some that are like a little macho, right? And they they were like inspired, and left really 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 thrilled about it. So I'm excited. All right, so Mom, let's see.
we kind of can talk about why those reviews are important
Yeah,
that we
yeah.
just
Let's. Why
mentioned.
don't you? Why don't you explain why the reviews matter?
Okay, so as you know, our book is available on Amazon. It makes the process of getting it out to the public, which I do have to give credit to Amazon for, a little bit easier for people like us, the average Joe Blow that isn't a Danielle Steele or,
Yet.
yeah, yeah, or Mel Robbins, let them, but we're getting there. But the process is this, that algorithms help. It helps for 3 reasons. One, people actually read reviews. People will go in there. It's kind of like when you're buying a product, you go, I wonder how many people have really bought this product and written how great it is. That's the same application that applies to a book. Okay. So visibility to other people that are going, should I read this book or not? A second reason is your review. Maybe if it's just 1 or 2 sentences, there may be just that one sentence that sparks someone else that would have never even considered our book, doesn't even know we exist in the world, that goes, oh, they talk about rituals and I'm kind of into rituals. Hmm. So maybe just the one line that resonated with you may be something that resonates with someone else. And lastly, the reason that reviews are so important. Whether you do them on Amazon, we don't care. It would help to propel it, but you can do it on your own, in a text to someone, on your social media, in an email to a friend. To us, those are all reviews of you passing on the word. And we don't physically need to see it. Yeah, it would help us, but our sole purpose right now, and we know it's going to happen, is just to continue what we're doing,
Yep,
sharing it with you guys, going out places and sharing it with others, talking about it. And we hope that you'll be inspired to do the same. And therefore, we just spread, the community spreads.
it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I love what you said, how the reviews aren't for us, like meaning my mom and I. Like, thank you. They're nice. We appreciate them. It's lovely to read. But the goal is for the ripple effect, for the impact. And that's the power behind the review is your words matter to the other person that is going to pick it up and, potentially then continue to
So
spread that.
don't think that what you're going to
Yeah.
write is silly or doesn't have
No.
value. It does.
No, no. Listen, if we can put it all out there in a book, like your words, everyone's words are perfect. Everyone's words are perfect. So, all right. So, Mom, let's talk about we kind of got into this gift giving. I think you touched on all of that. But if there's anything else you want to say on that before we go into what we're going to be doing next year.
Yeah. Okay, so let me just say one thing about gift giving. I've also come to learn. I came from a belief, and it's not pinning it on any one culture, religion, or background. It's just a belief I formed from my background that, I'm giving you this. You better give me something back. You know?
Wait, you were a conditional giver?
Yeah, isn't that terrible? Well, not terrible. I learned from that lesson. Let's put it
Tick for
that way. It
tat?
was a
Was it
lesson
tick for
learned.
tat?
Yeah, tit for tat. And now it's like it feels so good just to like I mentioned, there was a caterer and she wanted, and I said, you really want to know more? And I went back, I got the book, I signed it, I go, here you go.
Oh,
And whether she ever contacts me or not, whether I ever hear from her or not, I know I gave that book from a genuine moment of love. And hopefully, once you guys read it, whether it's a piece of a page, a recipe that you find, a ritual, or the book itself, take that nugget and pass it on and just see what happens. You may never know, or you may know one day way beyond your time. So that's
yeah.
the power of gift giving there.
Um, I posted something in my stories today that it's not about what is it? It's not about the it's not about the gift, it's about the giver. Or maybe it was vice versa. It's not about the giver, it's about the gift. Anyway,
Yeah.
it's to your point, it's to your point. So,
Yeah.
um, all right, so let's
So
talk.
what's our little goodie gonna be out
Yeah,
of
so
love?
our gift to the world. So we're really excited. So um we were going to do this today. And then when we were prepping for this live yesterday, it both came through us very strongly that we wanted to wait to do this until January. We wanted to really allow people more time to get the word out and to share this book. But we are going to be doing a live drawing for a winner. And this is going to be from all of you, right? So there's like, you don't have to like do XYZ to go in. We are literally keeping track of all the people that have bought the book, people that have shared it out on social, people that have written reviews, people that are part of the launch team, people that have gone on and beyond. And we are putting all of the names into a beautiful, see that gold bowl behind me?
Hmm.
They are starting to collect there, and we will be pulling a winner next month here live on our next live, and they are going to be winning a nice, sizable, beautiful gift.
Yeah, and you don't have to do anything massive. You
No.
just have to share.
Let us
Share
know
however
know
you
you
can.
bought the book. Let us know you shared
Yeah, the
it.
first step is just get the book, and then from there, just let us know. Hey,
Yeah.
however you want to let us know, personally, in a review, with a friend, on a live, however you talk,
Simple
your
is best.
talk.
Yeah, simple is best. And it's gonna be a nice cash prize. So, and we have people that have come forward that actually want to donate into this cash prize. They want to remain anonymous. So that's part of the reason why we decided to hold this one more
Hold
month
it.
because people want this to be a really big surprise. So it's going to be awesome. So stay tuned for our next live. To enter again, you can leave a review, you can share the book, you can share and tag us on social, you can show up in unexpected ways, like just purchasing big blocks of books. And we'll be celebrating you guys publicly. All right, so I think we're going to wrap up. Another thing that we will be announcing on our next live is the date of our Florida launch event. So we are going to duplicate what the magic that happened on the West Coast out here on the East Coast. It will be happening sometime in the spring. So stay tuned for that date. We will have continued conversations around food and healing and legacy. And this book is never meant to have an end. It's always intentionally there to be the beginning of so many conversations, both around your table, with the loved ones in your life, with friends and women and men of all ages. And so, if you are here today watching live, put a comment in below because that will also enter you in to the beautiful gold
Right.
cauldron where we're going to pull. But let us know where you are watching from. Let us know how you know us. Let us know if you're a complete stranger and you found this on somebody else's page. If you have the book, we would love to know what your favorite recipe is, your favorite chapter so far, a little bit about what has spoken to you, and who you'd gift the book to, because we might just gift that book on your behalf. So leave us some comments, and we're going to be doing some fun stuff. These lives are going to continue on every month next year. I decided that, Mom. I didn't
Yeah,
tell
we'll
you,
do
but
each
I'm sure
other's
you'd be fine.
back and forth, each other's page.
Back and forth on each other's page. So next month will be on my mom's page, and we are going to get them up on our YouTube stations as well. So we're going to take
Yes.
these lives as a recording and we will put them up on YouTube. So very, very excited. All right. Mom, anything else before we sign off?
No, just want to thank again. I always like to tell the story about one of my favorite idols who is no longer walking the planet, but I feel her spirit, and that's Mother Teresa. And I feel that right now, with all the weirdness going on, with craziness in the world, and just so many outside things bugging us, it's really important to embrace this. And that's the fact that Mother Teresa, when she was being interviewed for the Global Peace Prize, of course, there were different reporters coming from all different directions, wanting to know this and that and this and that. And in her summation, she said, I just want to leave by saying, if there's two words you can ever mutter from your mouth, with love and with intention and true meaning and live it, it's the words, thank you.
Mm.
So may you go out and love yourself and thank someone for loving you.
Aw,
And we hope we did that for you guys.
yes. Happy holidays, everyone. We'll see you next month.
Take
Love
care.
you. Ta-ta.
Bye.